Man, what's going on, everybody? Swagged out, and you already know why I'm here. And if you don't know, today is, I believe, International Pistachio Day. And I don't really care too much about pistachios, but it was on my Google search, so I saw it, so I'm aware. And I thought to myself, as soon as I saw that, what a great day to do a review on a pistachio fragrance that I am absolutely loving. Now, I do know that in the last year or so, it's kind of been pistachio season when it comes to fragrance creators. Like everybody's been on the little pistachio thing, which is cool, something different and something I got to enjoy. But the pistachio fragrance for this season that really caught my attention for a bunch of reasons is from none other than the House of Nazar fragrance, and the fragrance is Oud Cake, and this is possibly the top one, top two, somewhere in the top three of all the fragrances Nazar has made so far. But this one right here is special, and we're going to talk about why. So we'll start like I typically do with the note, and the notes are expansive and they're very gourmandy, so you're going to get exactly what you're expecting out of it once you read these notes. So the notes are frosting, almond, pistachio, pecans, oud, ice cream, hazelnut, and rum. Then in the mid, you're going to get peach, pear, pineapple, coconut, cherry, whipped cream, marshmallow, and white florals. And if you've been paying attention there, with the exception of oud and white florals, this is all gourmand. And then in the base, you're going to get bakery. You're going to get some oud, some vanilla beans, some tonka beans, some benzoin, some cacao, and white musk. So yes, it's gourmand notes on top of gourmand notes. And to take a little interruption for some oud, some florals, and some musk. And then it gets right back to those gourmand notes, which is one of the reasons why I'm really loving this fragrance, especially with a name like Oud Cake. You probably feel it's a whole lot of oud and just a little bit of cake, but it's actually the opposite. This is all gourmand up front with some little woody base to give it a little more body. But other than that, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Oud Cake will definitely fall into the gourmand category rather than oud. So if you're scared of oud fragrances and you're like, I don't want to try that because it might be too, this doesn't make me feel like we're talking heavy ouds at all. The oud here only adds to the overall composition, which is 100% a gourmand composition. I'm sorry. But the fragrance itself and what it does on skin, I'll tell you right now, if it was called Pistachio Cake, name still would have been super appropriate. This definitely does what it sets out to do. And the inspiration behind this was something called Watergate Cake or Watergate Salad. And I can guarantee you right now that the salad is not a salad at all. Both the Watergate Cake and Watergate Salad have pistachio, almond. One of them is an actual cake. The other one has jello, whipped cream. Like, it's just kind of all those notes we were listing in the beginning, with the exception of hazelnut. I feel like in the whipped cream, all those notes get put into the cake and the salad, and that's what you're getting here. Just confectionery sweetness. While there is that whipped cream feel, I do get something powdery, something more cakey, doughy, more on the it's about to get made rather than the already finished presentation of a cake. But then you start getting some of those actual baked good feel as well. So there's a good mix of the beginning, during, and after of creating one of these desserts. You get a lot of this sweetness, and that pistachio is very prominent. I will say this, that in a lot of fragrances where they list pistachio, I'm sometimes stuck wondering where the pistachio is. They're almost like it was more of a novelty to add pistachio to the overall fragrance, kind of like how ouds do a lot of times, even in this fragrance where it's not very heavy on the oud, but it's there and you can call it an oud fragrance if you really want to. However, for me, I'm gonna lean more on the gourmand side when it comes to this fragrance. The pistachio is very much present. All the nutty notes that it has in here, like that pecan, that almond, all that nuttiness really plays a good part in here. When you add the addition of all those sweeter cake-like notes that are incorporated, you really do have a very heavy, full body gourmand fragrance, but that has very powdery tendencies. So it never feels like it's very aggressively strong on you. However, you are going to get a good scent bubble. You are going to get projection, and you are going to get longevity with this fragrance. And at $100, I'm not mad at that at all. It's very much in the range where I feel like this is almost a gimme, considering, you know, a lot of the price range and fragrances you see behind me. So this right here is definitely one of the best bangs for buck you can get from a luxury fragrance, $100. And it's this fragrance that, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, does not remind me of any other fragrance that I have behind me. Some fragrances can smell like each other or similar, even when it's not redundant, but you know, it kind of reminds you of something. I don't think Oud Cake reminds me of any other fragrance at all. Like, all it reminds me is exactly of what it's supposed to. Pistachio, almond, pecan, ice cream, whipped cream. That's what I'm getting here. I'm getting dessert. I'm getting sweet, slightly, ever so slight woodiness that would come from that oud, but it never feels like an overall oud fragrance. So if that's the kind of thing that you're trying to avoid and you do enjoy gourmands, do not let the name Oud Cake make you feel like this is just an oud blast, but rather it's more of the cake with touches of oud just to raise the level of sophistication overall. And I think it does a great job of doing everything that it was set out to do in such a great way. This is probably one of my favorite fragrances from Nazar, with the exception of Pie and Cognac and maybe Royal Paradise. And depending on which day, those are all interchangeable to me because they all have their place. These are all fire fragrances, and the brand is coming out with way more fire fragrances as well. So you definitely need to check out Nazar Fragrance if you haven't checked them out already. Now, in addition to all that great information, I will tell you this, that I do have a link and I have a discount code. I'm going to put it in the description. That way nobody's wondering. But if you want to know without reading the description, fragged_swagged out over at Nazar Fragrance. But I will put that information down there. So as I typically do say, this is all the information I have for you. But I do leave you with this. If you enjoyed this review, if you check these videos out or come to my page every now and then, see if I have something new, but never bother to subscribe, please do bother to subscribe. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't like it, go ahead and let me know why. I have a comment section, and I love to hear people's gripes and complaints about how I don't review well. It makes my day. So go ahead and add it in there. But if you have something nice to say, I will accept those too. That's really all I have for you today. Once again, this is Fragged Out, Swagged Out, and I'm